You're a softie after all.
That's right. Mighty Boy Studio, the second studio run by Flying Wild Hog, Saber Interactive and a few other noteworthy developers, they have another AAA game in the making since early last year going by the name Babylon X. A new fantasy action RPG set in an alternative history of the ancient world where the Tower of Babylon continues to develop and eventually humanity faces apocalypse. This game combines Western and Eastern narratives, offering a very unique setting in a video game. Babylon X is coming to PCs, PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series X only, we hear within 2024.
Because you do care. Shapes are important, but you need to feel them.
Oh, I felt that one.
Listen, you can run away from yourself as long as you want, but don't abandon those who are dear to you before it's too late.
Sorry I got you into this.
Wish we'd met earlier.
You can't escape fate, can you?
It's in your hands.
That being said, Nexon, the same Korean developers of Blue Archive, mostly mobile games however, they have a brand new project in the making made with the Unreal Engine 5 going by the name Vindictus. Announced about a month ago, this game is also an action RPG hack and slasher that interestingly shares the same universe with the MMORPG Vindictus original game itself. It's set to be coming to the PlayStation 5, Xbox Series X and PCs, and the beta for it is happening in the following month. Check it out. We also got a new trailer for it.
Their requests will often lead her to the wasteland and the Great Desert. This place has been overrun by nativas.
Sony went on and shared another trailer on Stellar Blade. In addition to the word that the game is actually going to be coming out on April 26, 2024 on the PlayStation 5, additionally PCs, developers announced. There is a demo that you can actually try right now on the PlayStation Store in a few days on Steam, and if you missed it, there's over 40 more minutes of 4K gameplay on YouTube. Stellar Blade, for those of you new, is an action RPG made with the use of Unreal Engine 5. It's about the journey of a warrior named Eve defending Earth from an invading alien race.
An easy fight.
It's fine. I can do this alone.
It won't be easy.
Angel, that's the unofficial name for members of the Eve Airborne Squad.
I can feel the hatred, but I cannot feel the source.
I will find it, and I will make it pay.
Open it! It's windy! No more lies to blind my eyes. Choose what you lose. It's a collapse! And now take up the
The drone is different.
This is no longer the drone you knew.
Coming up behind that at number 4, we have a open world hack and slash RPG. Pretty much what everybody called this thing, a child of two big games, the Ghost of Tsushima and Assassin's Creed series, since its reveal. Here's a game called Human, with the J. Human, well, on the blade, fully titled, promises a Souls-like boss rush action game. There's lots of sword fighting in Unreal Engine 5 graphics, and it's also from a solo developer. This game is coming to PCs in the next generation of consoles as well, possibly within 2024. Announced roughly a month ago, now fully titled to Ininra, Daemon Core. Number 5 we have as the first work of its developers also, halfway inspired by the upcoming PlayStation 5 exclusive game that we just mentioned, Stellar Blade, and another part blending third person and an adventure with time manipulation elements. Although this game has a single target battle system. Here's a trailer, this one's coming to PCs only, mid to late 2024, we also just got a new trailer for it. Number 6 we have Kyborg. Revealed almost a year ago to this day, pretty sure most of you have seen it before, otherwise Kyborg is another action-heavy, roguelite story-driven game described by its developers as a mix of gore-intense combat and an endless replay. You see, the game seems to be a time crisis based or time-sensitive in nature, for those of you not that old, and relies heavily on decisions. Here's a new trailer. This game is coming to the PlayStation consoles and PCs only sometime next year.
했어요. 그 다음 해부터는 아무도 결혼 안 했고.
이런 환경에서 결혼해 아이까지 낳으셨다니.
Available on Steam through a demo and an early access phase at number 7, we've got Axiom of Maria. Now if you missed out on its original review last year, Axiom is an action-adventure and a story-driven hack-and-slasher. It's about this female chick trying to get her family back from an AI regime that's also set in a cyberpunk ghost town due to the population decline in the future. It's a pretty good story. It's early right now, but definitely feels like it could be a full game. In any case, it's going to be coming out fully in its finished form by the end of the year.
AI 같은? 우리가 사는 현실은 주기적으로 피안의 백업이 받아지거든요. 100년 전 스트리트 뷰처럼 AI에게 의식은 피안이에요. 우리가 있는 여기가 AI한테는 꿈인 거죠. 우리 깊은 곳에 남아있는 원시인처럼 AI의 무의식에 사람의 것이 남는 거죠 뭐.
저는 AI의 꿈을 돌아다니는 원시인인가요?
K씨 정도면 원시인이 아니라 꿈에 나타난 무서운 괴물 아닐까요?
Been in the making for over a year now. Number 8, we have Glaciared. Glaciared, in short, is what developers have described as a action-adventure that takes place on an ice-covered version of our Earth about 60 million years into the future. That's a good place to start, since it's only assumptions. Technically, you play as an evolved species from birds and also fish, and have to fight for survival whilst discovering what's new in our world. For us. Basically, it's nature meets science fiction. Like the old Dolphin game, Echo, this game is coming to PCs only within 2025.
Go over elements of the gameplay.
We mentioned this last week, but if you missed it, Capcom's AAA project Path of the Godless, or Kunitsugami, is officially arriving this year. Not only we got a new trailer for it, but the word that it's a PC to next generation exclusive and also single-player game in nature. It's an action RPG in which you must protect a maiden with divine powers as She travels to cleanse villages of an evil defilement. That's what developers are selling. This thing over here is a blend of Japanese myth, Ghost of Tsushima a little bit, some Pikmin, and a strategy game in nature.
As they work with So to fight off the Seethe. Woodcutters excel at close quarters combat. Archers fight from a distance. Ascetics use spells to restrain the Seethe. There are many other roles. You can freely place villagers who have been assigned roles. The carpenter accompanying So can repair contraptions in villages to help fight off the Seethe more effectively. During the day, rescue villagers, make repairs, and strategically place villagers to fight off attacks.
Coming up behind that, from around June last year, we have a game called Unawake. This is the work of the old Toplets production folks. In case you missed out on it, this bad boy is an action RPG adventure with a deep character customization inspired by Mass Effect and Dragon Age. Well, probably what would happen if you mix both of them and then you would eventually hand them to an indie developer. It's a little small in scale. Here's a trailer. Unawake is set to be released for PCs and due out early next year.
Destiny brings us together once again.
I will destroy all of you.
Sitting on Steam through early access once again, since July last year in fact, Fractals of Destiny is a somewhat Final Fantasy inspired hybrid of a classic action RPG combat and a heavy rely on story and narration. I do believe this thing has one of the finest settings inspired by the Mass Effect settings from an indie developer and some really good graphics to keep you engaged along the way. I mean, along the story. Even though it's a $25 piece of an indie game, it's still worth a shot and it's actually quite smooth and fine-tuned in its early access. The finished product, however, is going to be coming out by the end of 2024.
Lightning can't match my speed. Here we go!
Do you think you can defeat me?
We can. Together.
Divine force!
Shut up, or I'll kill you!
Nothing can separate us from our destiny.
If you missed out on its original release from earlier in the year, we have another Unreal Engine 5 project coming from the same developers of the game Close to the Sun, going by the name Steel Seed. Well, it's a single-player stealth action adventure game set in a dark science fiction world where you play as a female protagonist again inside this underground facility run by AI. Now, this game is a little bit inspired by the Stellar Blade, which we mentioned earlier, some Prince of Persia vibes as well, set to be coming to PCs and the next generation of consoles by the end of the year. And last but not least, we've got a new work from the same publishers of the Tormented Souls. There's like 100 different games these folks have already funded. We've got a boss rush action role-playing game going by the name Nano Apostle. Now in this game you play as an augmented child named Anita that's implanted with a sentient non-mechanical entity known as the Apostle that lets her do what you see. Now this game is definitely inspired by Souls-like. It's a hack and slash, dark fantasy, science fiction in setting, and offers a reaction-based combat. Check it out.